How is it's Thursday, I think. They're all days are merging into one at the minute. Um, it has been one of the toughest weeks I've experienced in Irish whiskey auctions, um, on loads of levels. It's great. We're busy. It's fantastic. We're busy. I mean, record record amount of bottles in the auction, record amount of sales, record amount of percentage bottles sold, record prices. Everybody's commenting on them. And then the other side of the coin is we had a mishap on Sunday night with our auction software, and we've been dealing with the fallout from it as well. Um, First of all, I think I'll answer a few questions that we get thrown at us and get all these things. Yeah. Do you not just put more servers, or do you not just up the capacity or up your technology or fix it or anything like that? It's just not that simple. It really isn't. If it was about capacity, we have more than enough. We have anybody who's in the tech world would understand, but our servers on Sunday night were sitting not at idle, but they had 30 and 40% idle. So the servers aren't the issue. The issue has always been the software. So the software was never designed for what we've asked it to do or for the volume that we've asked it to deal with. It was a piece of off-the-shelf software that we bought and we bastardized and we made it do what we wanted to do. It's meant to be like an eBay auction, so multiple auctions ending up multiple times throughout the day, and there's no real point load is what we'd call it. The challenge that our software faces is it's trying to write everybody's bids all at the same time, and it just can't. You're trying to shove 5 inches of water through a 2-inch pipe, and it just won't work. So that's the first thing. Everybody says, oh no, just fix it. It's just not as simple. The software was not fit for what we wanted to do. Well, it was fit for what we wanted to do at the start when we weren't so busy, but now it's just not fit for it. The fix is new software. So we've been working on that for, nearly a year now. It is nearly there, but there's still things that I'm not happy with. There's things we need to fix. There's things that we were improving on the old software, but there's things that aren't right. So there's no point in me putting it out there and giving it to everybody. It's not going to have the issues of crashing, but it could potentially have other issues or just not be right what we want it to be. So there's no point in swapping one set of problems for another. So we're holding on. We will be testing and we will involve everybody in testing. Again, transparency is what you get from us. So we will be involving everybody in testing. We're going to have fake auctions, essentially, that we're going to have people bidding on items and literally testing the auctions. It's nearly impossible to replicate what happens on the Sunday night. You can load servers, you can do various things, but how people bid and interact and jump from page to page and try and bid on one and another and all that sort of stuff, it's impossible to recreate. So the only way to do it is to get people involved and to build test auctions. So we're going to do that. We hope to have that ready for end of April, start of May. We then hope to have the new software, our first auction at the end of May, start of June on the new software. In the interim, our decision is, what do we do? Do we have another auction? Do we not have another auction? Everybody wants us to have an auction. Loads of people want us to have an auction. I mean, again, the amount of messages of goodwill and everything else. So we're probably going to have an auction. We're probably going to limit it, the amount of bottles that we put into it, totally. And perhaps then if there's enough bottles here, we'll do 2 smaller auctions. And again, that's our way of dealing with it. We can't step the auction ends because the software was never designed to do that either. It does one thing and that's what it does. So we can't do that. So it's probably going to be 2 small auctions. I'll be announcing the dates now tomorrow. Brings me to something else. As I say, we didn't mess up. Me and Katie didn't mess up. The software messed up. And software does mess up from time to time. The biggest companies in the world, Ticketmaster, I mean, everybody tries to buy tickets for the latest concert and Ticketmaster goes down, or it takes 10 minutes for it to spin and for you to lose your place in the queue and all of that sort of stuff. IDL, for the wealth of IDL and Pernod Ricard, they got things wrong with the Redbreast releases. And one of the consequences of me and Katie doing our videos and everybody knowing our names and knowing who we are and knowing what we do is that we put ourselves out there. But we don't put ourselves out there for abuse. And the abuse that we've taken since Sunday night has been exceptional. Now, I've spoken a few times about people's mental health and all that sort of stuff. And I have to say, I was genuinely shook on Sunday night and into Monday and still am. The abuse, the messages, the emails, the threats, it is just not on. And I won't accept it. I don't think that's what this is about. This whole whiskey thing isn't about that. Because somebody didn't get a bottle of whiskey doesn't mean that you can abuse people. And you know who you are, the people that done it. It's not on. We've had people come back to us and say, look, I sent an email or a message in frustration. I apologise. It was a bit out of order. I was frustrated. And you know what? That's all right. I'll shake that person's hand. I genuinely will. Big enough to say, look, you were mad. I get why you were mad. I actually do get why you were mad. I get why you were upset. I get why you were frustrated. But to abuse people and to insult people and threaten people and, degrade the work that we've done. One of the biggest things that annoys me is people questioning our integrity. And anybody who's been on this journey with us from the start, and there's lots of you out there, you know the one thing that we absolutely have is integrity. We will not, doubt that for a second. We always make sure that we're upfront, honest and transparent. We do things, in everybody's best interest. This isn't about making money for Irish Whiskey Auctions. This is about promoting Irish whiskey to the world. Because the more people that are engaged with my Irish whiskey, the more jobs that are going to come out of it, the more everything that's going to come out of it. The more value your bottles are going to have if there's more people drinking it worldwide. So I won't stand for being abused. I won't stand for Katie. I definitely won't stand for Katie or any of the staff here being abused. So any of you guys that rang here or emailed here with threats and real derogatory statements, hang your heads in shame, because it's not on. That's not what whiskey's about. Whiskey's about sitting, being social, being engaging, talking to people, enjoyment. It's not about abusing people, and we won't stand for it. So if that's what you want to bring to Irish Whiskey Auctions, or if that's what you think is appropriate, don't come near us. I don't want you. We don't want you. That's not what Irish whiskey's about. Just want to get that message out because it really has been tough. Now, the other side of that is we've received emails and messages from people, and even emails and messages from people who weren't involved in Sunday night, who weren't engaged, who weren't bidding, who weren't, for whatever reason. And they've emailed in to say, listen, I heard you got it. Don't let them get to you. I've seen some of the abuse. Don't let them get to you. So that's it, guys. It's not right. Don't stand for it. If any of you guys see people abusing other people or calling them, on Facebook, call them out. People stand in front of me and, insult me. That's a different thing. But behind the keyboard, behind the screen, that's nasty. So, as I say, if you want to engage with Irish Whiskey Auctions, if you want to engage with Irish Whiskey, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of the guys out there who are involved, you're welcome. We welcome you with open arms. Let's all promote Irish whiskey. Let's all drive Irish whiskey forward. But if your sole purpose is to promote yourself and degrade everybody else, I have no time for you. And I don't think many others do too. All right? Talk to you soon. Good luck.